Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Conor Canney podcast with me, Conor Canney. And in this podcast I want to talk about ADHD and cognitive behavioral therapy. Now, for those of you that don't know what cognitive behavioral therapy is, it's the way I understand it anyway, is any kind of behavior, that you engage in order to train your mind, right? Cognitive and cognition means, as far as I'm aware, the neurological pathways and the way your mind works and the behaviors that you ingrain into your neurological pathways and your nervous system, right? Essentially, which train you to do things, right? And also, by training you to do those things, it trains your mind and your body to not do the other things. Now, when it comes to ADHD, the ADHD doesn't go away as such. But what I found in my life, with my experience of being someone who has ADHD, is that when I make myself do certain things, the symptoms lessen. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but, excuse me, I just had to do a little burp there. The conclusion I've come to about this is, when you have ADHD, the mind is going all over the place, right? Sometimes, especially if you haven't exercised or whatever. Now, the mind is naturally going to do that if you have ADHD, right? But one of the frustrations that adds to this, and I think exacerbates the hyperactivity in our mind and in our body with the ADHD, is the frustration, the subconscious frustration of not being able to get anything done, right? So even if you start small and start to get things done, right, even though your mind's racing and you're like, you want to walk here and you're pacing around or whatever, set yourself one little goal to do. So for example, earlier on, I could feel my ADHD coming on, right? And I went into the kitchen, and the kitchen was a fucking mess. Everything was everywhere, right? Now, my mind was going all over the place, racing, right? I wanted to pace around. I thought, I'm going to go upstairs and play some guitar now. I was like, I'm going to watch this new comedy on Netflix with Chris Rock's new comedy on Netflix, right? And then I thought, I'm going to go for a walk. And I realised all these things are distractions. Now, that doesn't mean I'm judging anyone who has ADHD. And there are people who don't have ADHD all of us, regardless of whether we have ADHD or not, act in a similar way sometimes in life to this, right? I think that's one of the reasons that some people don't think ADHD is real. Anyway, that's another podcast for another day. But then I realised, and it's been my experience in the past, that no, Connor, deal with this situation right now, right? Your mind is going all over the place, but you'll feel 100 times better, 100 times calmer if you just go, right? Grab the stuff in the kitchen. Doesn't matter that my mind's racing. Force yourself to put them all away in the dishwasher. Clean down the surface, right? Can leave a few things in the sink, which I'm going to clean up in a minute, and wipe it down, and you'll feel way better, right? So now, when you do that, what I've come to the conclusion that this does, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, But what I've come to the conclusion that this does is this one, it makes you, I wouldn't say it's exactly hyper-focusing in this case, exactly. Make another podcast about hyper-focusing another time. But, you know, you're concentrating on one thing. Now, your mind may be going all over the place, but make sure, I said to myself, I'm going to make sure I do this right now. So, now, you're not worrying about the fact you haven't done it. That relieves some stress, as it would do with anyone, even if you didn't have ADHD, even if they didn't have ADHD. Two, you'll find then the mind isn't racing as much. You know, you're then more present, you're more calm, you're grounded, almost as if it's almost a meditational activity in that regard, you know. So when you do that, you've got one job to do, don't put it off, do one thing, and then you'll be calm, you'll be present, your mind won't be racing as much, your body will calm down, your nervous system will calm down slightly. Then all of the other things that go around in your mind, right, you'll find some that don't matter and some that are gone. Now you've got physically, now you can see, once you've done it, the kitchen is clean. Ooh, that's a weight off your mind, as it would be with anyone, even if you didn't have ADHD, right? And yeah, that is all you have to do to start with. This was just one little tip I thought I'd give. Right, now you're not worrying about the fucking fact that you got that there. It's not playing on your mind. It's not making you more hyper and more stressed, you know. It's a positive cycle. Right. Then you can also, then you have more confidence. You just build a habit. You can do the next thing now. And this is something that I've found to be very, very beneficial. Concentrate on one thing, one task to get done, something simple like that you know you can do, that doesn't require loads and loads and loads of thought, right? Or you know that is simple. It's not something that requires. I know sometimes we struggle with the simplest things when we have ADHD. I'm not like belittling that. I'm just saying I know the struggle is real. I know what it's like, but you know that is something we can all do. So I just thought I'd share that quickly. I'll be making more videos about ADHD in the future, and I hope this helped you. Even if you know this already, sometimes it's good for someone else to reiterate it, and for you to know that someone else that's going through some of these experiences is out there and wants to help you. Okay, cool, guys and girls. Have a good day. Speak to you soon. Peace and love.